yeah, man, I thought I'd include that in that bit. As I was saying though, that sets us up perfectly to speak about the young players, and that hit the like button if you have not done such already. Like I said, you can't read too much into it, but for the young players in some of their careers, definitely where Jack Henry Francis and probably Amari Hutchinson, well, Amari's played for his country or been called up. It's the biggest game they'll play right at this moment in time. It's their debut. It's the biggest thing. It's only, you lot can say it's only Hibs, but it is good. And when I look at these young players, we might as well briefly speak about them. Once again, to go over stuff, this was how I was feeling at halftime though. Players were not on the same wavelength. We're over enjoying. We're going through the motions. We're disjointed. Senior players need to wake up. Nelson looked decent. Maitland-Niles grew into the game. Eddie has hidden. Well, Eddie, I don't know what that means, but Eddie, I don't feel Eddie hid. I think he missed those chances. Nelson should have scored. It was a fairly even contest. If you're not watching, well done, because you didn't miss anything. And I think Marie, Nelson, Clark, and Maitland-Niles looked all right. But that kind of, I've just read that out because it kind of filters into what we're speaking about, people. But as I would say, should we go from top to bottom or bottom to top? I'll go from bottom to top because we're here, innit? In relation to Omar Rekic, he came on, Tunisian international, I believe, or is it Morocco? Forgive me for getting it wrong. But he's a full international. I can't lie. He looked a bit nervous. He made an important block, an interception in the half, but he did look a tad nervous in the game. Was it the fans? Was it making an Arsenal debut? I don't know. But he did kind of show his age. His positioning needs a lot of work. He's not going to survive in the Premier League or in the first team environment if that positioning doesn't improve. But he is fairly competent on the ball. All in all, he did all right. I got nothing negative to say. Carl Hein, I don't think he could do much. I do think he could have organised better for the second goal. But I mean, he's a young man. Go and look at that goal, people. Several people need to take control of that situation. If we go and do that against Brentford, we're analysing that. I did think he could have shouted at his teammates, but he's a young man, he's still doing his thing. Arthur, keep your head up, but this is the real world now. You're 19 or whatever, you signed a new deal in a nice way. No one cares. It's about what you can do now. If you want to be third choice keeper for Arsenal, show it. And all of them probably had a bit of nerves. For me, it's better 300 people, I'm very appreciative, hit the like button. It's better he makes them mistakes in pre-season than if he's thrown in at the deep end. He did look a bit nervous. Initially, I think he started well. Not that he had much to do, but he was collecting, he was commanding, he was just little things as a young player that will enable you to build confidence and settle. I think just moments before this actually happened, there was an incident. He's come out to grab it and he's lost the ball and it's gone out for a corner. That's for me where you've got to start switching on. And, the goal that we conceded fundamentally is his fault, but it's a series of errors. I wouldn't really call it an error, and we're going to go into Clark, but I think Clark, he had a good contest and it's a good game for Clark. He learned a lot. He's playing against a physical striker. He missed out on the first header. It's nonchalance from Cedric Suarez. I don't know what he's doing, and it's probably, I don't know. It looks like sheer stupidity from Arthur. I don't know what's going through his brain. I don't know how that happened. It somehow looks worse than what Simone did in the Euros. It's calamitous. Shout to him. He picked himself up, but it is what it is, and these things keep you grounded. He's had a week to remember. New deal, first team promotion, and then you've got that mistake. These things bring you back down to earth, so you know what you need to work on if you didn't already. I like him. I think the occasion probably got to him. I don't quite think he's third choice, so he's clearly not ready. If he's thrown at the deep end, he'd be in trouble. As I said, prior to that mistake, there was an issue, but yeah, man, I like Arthur. He's doing his thing. I think Clark had a steady game. I think he played within himself when it came to his passing range, because I have seen him play some very good passes. Maybe it's the debut. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to do anything wrong. But I think he was all right. He read the game well. He was one of the better players in the first half before he was subbed. He did lose the aerial battle in the build up to the goal, but this is what I mean. It's a good experience for these guys, and he's to learn from. Like I said, the blame's going to go with Arthur. I'm livid with Cedric and I'm sympathetic for Clark, but there's a series in what led to that. So that's Clark. For Nelson, he should have scored, but I think he had a positive game, very positive. He looked confident. I liked him. He looked like an outlet. He looked like he was down for the cause. He looked a bit sharper than William Obama and a couple more experienced guys. Balogun, I think Balogun made a very positive second half cameo. I think his runs were good. He weren't always found when he's making some lovely good runs off the shoulders. I think physically he put himself around and he held it up. I think he sacrificed his game a lot, making runs where you're not going to get and dropping deep to help in defensively. I did think he was towards the end. bit too eager to score. There was a couple of times you got an option to your right, option to your left, and the third option, is to shoot. If you're going to shoot, you have to score. On another day, I'm looking at you a bit funny with that. You know, there was one effort he should have past it and he dragged it with his left foot. But I think he was better, man. From what you done better than what Eddie did. So I liked what Balogun came with in it. I don't think Eddie Nketiah was terrible. You know, there was one incident he's breezing down the left wing. I'm thinking pass it. I think he enjoyed himself in the wrong stage a bit too much. Listen, I don't know how he's missed that. He's done well to rob the defender. I don't know how he's missed that. You know, that sums up why Eddie Nketiah is on the chopping block, really and truly. You know, he missed the golden chance. The decision making was terrible. He did put himself around. I'd give it a 5 out of 10, just about. Maitland-Niles, I think he slowly got into the game, but he looked decent in his cameos for me. His passing was a bit hit and miss. There was some, you know, it was one of them ones. He's trying the passes and it ain't working, but you can see what he's doing, so you applaud it. And some of them paid off, and I think he grew into the game. For him, you know, we can't say it's only Hibernian, because for some reason or not, Arteta, despite bigging you up since he signed for this club as a gaffer, of your capabilities as playing as a manager, as a midfielder, he hasn't given you a look in. And this is, you've never had a better chance. You can't read too much into it, but you played in midfield. So every game you've got to show Arteta that you've got something that they're missing, that he's missing, or that your teammates are missing, or that you could have a job. And I don't think based on that game you did much to do it to convince him otherwise. Personally, I thought El Nene be the one to get subbed and you'd stay on, but it is what it is. You know, big up to Amari Hutchinson for making his debut. He just didn't have enough minutes to show his quality, really. He did earn a foul. You know, he came on as a fullback. I'm happy that this young lad got an appearance and got some minutes, and he's going to go from strength to strength and get better. And I hope against Rangers he gets more minutes. Jack Henry Francis, again, I would love everyone from Hayland to win, but I just think he's lacking technically to carve out a long-term career at Arsenal. And he can pass, like you can see. I'm not saying he can't pass. He played some nice, safe, neat little passes. He put himself around. I told you, look, he's got heart, he's combative, and he put himself about in that game, despite being 17, 18 or whatever. You know, good little appearance from Jack Henry Francis. So all in all, the youngsters put themselves about more. I've got more time for how the youngsters played, all the guys we spoke about, than the senior guys and whatnot people. So yeah, man, it is what it is in relation to how our young players